All right, guys, you are welcome to Mark 134. Fortunately, this is the first class in anything on that course before. We have not done anything on that course before. This will be our first class. So let's quickly take a survey of the material, just as it is our doctrine. We always start each class with surveying material, which we call skimming the material, to have an overview of what this material will tell us or will teach us or is all about. So mode one. Okay, please let's do it the right way. What is the title of the course? The course, of course, is Principles and Practice of Public Relations. Principles and Practice of Public Relations. That is Mark 134. And I think it is a compulsory course for all of you in mass communication. Principles and Practice of Public Relations. There is there was this course we've done before that talk about public relations too. So I think they are somehow linked together. So in this course, what are the things I'm going to learn about public relations? I will learn their principles and I will learn the way they practice public relations. Why? Because you as a mass com, you are going to be a public speaker eventually. You need to address people in the public, you need to give speeches in the public. So you need how to relate properly with the public. You need to learn the principle of public relations and the practices. In order to do that, we are going to learn that on several modules in this material divided into several units. In module one, we'll first learn the scope of public relation. How much does public relation covers? In order to achieve that, we will learn it under four units. And the first unit will be Omoyasuna says he can't continue with this kind of network. Just tell me that you want to go and watch ball. So, in unit one, we will learn definitions and components of public relations, which is PR. In this material, when you hear PR, we are talking about public relations. So we'll talk about the definition, philosophy, and functions of management. Of course, in any course, in all our course materials that we have been dealing with, you obviously know that we always like to start with the definition of terms, because it doesn't make sense for me to tell you something or teach you about something that you don't even know what that thing is. So the first thing is always to know the definition of that thing. And then the unit two will now go to public relations network. After public relations network, we'll talk about functions and careers in public relations. What are the hopes you have when you study public relations? Unit four will then take us the publics of public relations. After that, we have achieved the scope of public relations. Then we move to learning about the evolution. Where did it start from? And the process of public relations. And to achieve that knowledge, we need to learn it under some units, about five of them. The first one will tell us historical origins and pioneers of public relations. You'll be learning about so many names in that unit. And then history and development of public relations in Nigeria. And then we'll talk about medias and tools of public relations. Then in unit four, research in public relations. And finally, in unit five, we'll talk about the organization of public relations functions. Then we want to learn another thing. We want to gain another knowledge on these public relations that we're talking about. And that is public relations in practice. How is it practiced? To learn the practice, we'll learn that using 5 units. And in unit one of the practice of public relations, we are going to learn planning, number one, and then executing, number two, in public relations programs. Then in unit two, we'll talk about public relations for non-profit organizations. It's not all PR that are into it for profit to an organization. We have non-profit. You will learn about them. In unit three, we will learn about writing and speaking in public relations. And of course, in unit four, law and ethics in public relations and the society. All those units and modules covered everything there is to learn about public relations. So there, we'll start with module 1, and of course tonight we are taking only unit 1, which is definitions, components of public relations as a philosophy of management. What they're just trying to say is that we use these public relations in management of organizations. So let's move on. Well, what are the things we are going to talk about in this unit? We'll talk about definition of public relations. We'll talk about the component of public relations. We'll talk about public relations as a function and philosophy of management. Then we have some misconceptions, what people think public relations is, but it is not. So we'll learn that too. And then the conclusion, the summary, and then the text. As a form of introduction to this unit, many scholars and practitioners have presented various definitions of public relations based on their own knowledge. Somebody said we have done that part. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. I checked my channel and I saw that we haven't done anything. Are you guys sure that we've done any video on Mark 134? I actually checked the channel this morning for me to know if I've done anything there, and I found out that we haven't done anything. But if you say we have done something, that is fine. So let's jump to where we stopped. Where do you think we stopped? We must have done the definitions. Okay, no wonder I was saying that there was one course we talked about public relations. Can you guys tell me where we stopped? Somebody should check the last video and prompt me on where we stopped. Did I give you guys any assignment? Sorry, my brain is choked. I'm just full of so many things we are doing. Sometimes we forget some of these. Okay, so I am waiting patiently. I need somebody to point me to where we are supposed to be. Okay, Frank Jeff Links. That is true. I can recall that now. That we started talking about some of those. Okay, another definition of public relation is given by Frank Jefflinks, British author, who says that public relation consists of all forms of planned communication, both inward and outward. We've done this. I think we should start from the Mexican statement. Oh, if we've done that, then let's quickly go through a summary. Sorry, and I've wasted your time a lot. A summary. Wow, yes, I can recall now when we talk about BP, BIPR, yes, the definitions of. Okay, let's continue. We've not done much. The Mexican statement. I hope we've not done Mexican statement before. Okay, yes, so let's start from the Mexican statement of public relations. The Mexican statement defines public relations as the act and predicting their consequence, counseling organizations leaders, as well as implementing a planned program of action which serves both organization and the public. On their own definition is that public relations, since they deal with the public and they act as an agent, yeah, like a manager between the public that an organization is serving and the organization itself. So they are like middlemen that help flow of communication, proper passage of message, and the rest of them. So Mexican believe that it's an act and it's actually a social science. That is the first thing they believe. What does it do? It analyzes trends. What is the latest thing going on outside there? They will analyze it. Then they will make prediction of consequences. Once they are able to analyze trends and get predictions, they will use that to counsel an organization, like a well-planned program to serve their potential customers or better. So that is what the idea of Mexican statement is all about. Now, this definition was adopted at the First World Congress, National Public Relations Associations held in Mexico in 1970. So the Mexican statement definition of public relations in the year dash. Can we take that icebreaker? Let's just take our first icebreaker in this course. Definition, sorry, that is not correct. Definition, public, okay, okay, was. I'm trying to drop an icebreaker, so please, yeah, so let's take that icebreaker as a form of. Okay, somebody said it's blood. Let me bring it up a bit. Maybe it's going to be better. It was you guys that complained that it was too much then, so we have to reduce it. Now, I think law, it's actually your network. Sincerely. Okay, so guys, my actually on it again. Oh. Why is it that during you people's class, network always like to do it worse? Okay, so the Mexican statement defines, we've done that, and of course, it was adopted in 1978. This definition is accepted to be broad, all-embracing, and multidisciplinary. That is a Mexican definition. That is a Mexican statement definition of public relation. I think we are dwelling too much on this publican. Uh, let's uh, let's move on. This person always giving me a green heart. I appreciate you. Thank you. So it suggests that public relations expertise and knowledge from the social sciences and arts. For instance, the survey method has become very useful in public relations to find the people's opinions, and that is a scientific method in their opinions, their attitude, and their beliefs in order to predict human behavior. That is scientific. So public relations monitors and researches issues in the environment and tries to align the policies and programs of the organization in such a way that it will favor both organizations and publics so that there will be a mutual outcome. Please, guys, let's have a very clear picture in mind before you even start cramming questions. Public relations, they are just people that stay in between a company and the people outside there, the world that that company is serving. So don't get it, there is something you should know. There are people that serve as middlemen. Okay, do we have ads in this? Sorry, that is an error. We are not supposed to be having ads. I think I probably made a mistake. I will turn it off now. Sorry for that. This is a paid class. You people paid for it. You don't deserve an ad. Okay, I've turned it off. Sorry, I think you will not have ads here again. So, all right. On that. Okay, I think enjoy the class. Sorry for that. So public relations, I was saying, they are just middlemen between we that want to sell something and people who want to sell it to. So they help us create good image. They also help information about the product, and then by the public and the organization, they are all going to have benefits. The organization is being benefited by organizing them better, and then the public are being benefited by getting proper information about the product and the company. So Rex F, a renowned American public relations expert, provides us an exhaustive definition of public relations as a distinctive management function which helps establish and maintain mutual lines of communication, understanding, acceptance, and cooperation between organization and its publics. You see, the thing is, when you look at all their definition, it's just evolving around the same thing. A company, the people they are selling to, and how to create good image for them. Just how to inform the public about the product they are selling and how to create good image for the company. It's as simple as that. So I think I have a question here, an icebreaker. Who gave that definition of PR, that is of public relation? So let's look at uh, this is the reading class. So I'm not yet preparing for exam, so we'll read everything. We won't jump anything. We are going to read everything. This is the reading class. This is how you are supposed to read in the semester. You first do fast reading, read all material fastly. You are not really looking for anything yet. You are just trying to get impression of the general impression. So let's continue. So that was what the man said. So he said it involves the management of problems or issues that may arise. It helps management to keep informed on and responsive to public. It defines and emphasizes the responsibility of management to serve the public interest. It also helps the management keep abreast of and effectively utilize change, serving as an early warning system to help anticipate trends, and uses research and sound and ethical communication as its principal tools. Now, in acknowledgement of this definition, some authors have referred to public relations as corporate migod in Nigerian parlance. In response to the definition of this person we call Rex F. Harlow. Sorry, am I correct? Yes, Rex F. Harlow. Some authors, based on his own definition, based on this definition of Rex F. Harlow, when people read it very well, some authors eventually say, okay, we can just refer to as PR, which is public relation. We can refer to it as the corporate migod in Nigerian palace. Corporate migod. So let's take another icebreaker before we go to the next definition. What you guys should just know is that the idea of public relation, which of course you are going to serve that purpose in one way or the other as a mass communicator, you will need to talk to the public about an organization. Something happened recently in an organization and is now creating a bad image for the company. Then as a public relation officer, you need to come up with a way to help them public. You see that is a very hard. You have this mindset about this company. Never in my life, I will never patronize this company again. A public relation officer to help image. Of course, public relations, they are good in that. That's what they do. That's what Canfield in his book, Public Relations, Principles, Cases, and sees public relation as a social philosophy of management. A social philosophy of management. Okay, I have an icebreaker. That is an icebreaker. Who wrote that book? So, he defined public relation as a social philosophy of management expressed in policies and practices which are communicated to the public to secure its understanding and goodwill. This is a very wonderful definition. Very wonderful definition. It's a social philosophy of management, which means you should always remember that most of them refer to management, that public relations help the companies make decisions on how they can effectively relate or win the interest of the public. Canfield, look at the way Canfield put the definition. I love this in definition. It says it's a social philosophy of management expressed in policies and practices which are communicated to the public to secure its understanding and goodwill. Why are they expressing those policies? Why are they communicating to the public? They want to earn They want to get your understanding, the public, you as a potential customer or buyer. They are trying to gain your understanding of them. What do you think about us? And also to win your goodwill, to win your interest, your for you to say good things about them, for you to believe in them, for you to trust them. That is what public relations help. They bridge the gap. A company will need a public relation if they want to do well. Please let me read that definition of CANFIT to you again. In his book, Public Relations or Principles, Cases, and Problems, he defined public relations as a social philosophy of management and expressed in policies and practices which are communicated to the public to secure the public's understanding and goodwill. Finally, in the definition we offer you is given by Public Relations News of New York. The last definition we are going to give of public relations is the definition given by Public Relations News of New York, the industry letter of New York, the industry letter. The industry letter. Okay, what is that definition? Public Relations News of New York, the industry newsletter. What did the industry newsletter says about public relations? Well, in their own view, public relations is the management function which evaluates public attitudes. You see, the thing is, all the definitions involves around studying the public, getting data and information from the public's behavior, attitude, reaction to products, reaction to goods and services, and using that data to to create a feedback for the management of that company, so that the management can start making, for instance now, if the company is producing something and they're actually thinking they're doing well, and the public is already saying the company that is doing this thing before sef, they're even doing it better, this one look at it, their salt is too much, did they want to kill us with salt? People are just saying that randomly o. Public relation gathers that information, then help the company to form a policy around it. They come up with suggestions that help the company to say, you people should reduce your salt o. If you know what people are saying about you, it's not good o, please adjust your salt. It seems salt is the problem people are complaining about on your product. So adjust the salt, release a new product or a new brand or a new version of it. Now let's tell the public that, wow, have you tasted the new product? It's so perfect. The taste is, now you see, people will now have a redirection. They start thinking better about them. What's the public relation trying to do? They start, okay, like those of you that are Yoruba, let me just say it. They serve as olofofo. They will carry news from the public to the company, then from the company to the public. They are going two ways. So that is it. Now let's complete the definition of New York. It defines public relations as the management function which evaluates public attitudes, identify the policies and procedures of an individual or an organization with the public interest, and plans and execute a program of action excuse me, to earn public understanding and acceptance. They want the public to accept you, accept what you are doing, accept your product, and just to create a good image. I want to know if the ads have stopped. I hope you guys are not being disturbed by any ads anymore. Yes, thank you. Okorocha says they are, I'm a boss. Thank you. They carry from here to this place and from this place to this place, and they're making their money. So you learn today that some people are doing I'm a boss for a living and they're making huge money from it. Companies pay them huge money. Now, this definition implies that both individuals and organizations need public relations in their interactions with various segments of society. With various segments of society. A notable public relations practitioner referred to in one of our earlier definitions summarize most of the public relations definition as good performance that is publicly appreciated. Good performance that is publicly appreciated. A public relation officer is a performer, but if your performance is good, all you are trying to do is to earn the appreciation of the public, the acceptance of the public. In other words, public relations can be seen as doing good and then getting credit for it. You are doing good and you are getting paid for it. Doing good and getting credit for it. That is what public relations can. That same person that summarized the definitions of public relations, he also said that public relations could succinctly be expressed as P standing for performance and R standing for recognition. Even though it is public relation, the PR stand for. Now, somebody to say that you can also say P is performance, is recognition. I have an icebreaker for you. Okay, guys, let's leave that. Let's move on. So you guys should try to do that. That is, that is good performance that is publicly appreciated. That is, public relations consist of all actions taken to promote a favorable relationship with the public of an organization. I think this one now makes it very clear. It is all actions taken to promote a favorable relationship with the public of an organization. So from these various definitions, you should note some key and important terms for formulating a good public relations. What are they? Public relation is deliberate. It is deliberate. What are the key words in the definition of public relation? Please, you guys should make sure you remind me as soon as we click 45 minutes. We need to stop the class. There is a reason why I have, you know, made it like that. We started this class early, like our classes this semester. We started it early, and that is because we don't want the issue of opening book only 1 week to exam and then trying to cram 150 pages in 3 days. So we have time. So 45 minutes is enough to digest little by little, so we don't overwhelm ourselves. So public relation, from all the definitions given above, whether by Rex, by what is the name of the one we started with, by Mexican statements, by whoever and wherever, you will notice some trends in all those definitions. One of them is that public relation is deliberate. What does it mean? A public relations event or action is intentional. It's not just that I'm going on the road and I saw that somebody is spoiling Dangote salt or Dangote sugar. I will now go and start defending him. It's not like they sent me. Dangote did not send me. Dangote did not pay me. Did not employ me as a public relation officer. No. Public relation is intentional. The organization, they are doing it for a reason. They are intentionally doing it because they want to create good image for themselves in the public. So it is designed to influence or gain understanding as well as providing information. They are there to understand the public, then use that their understanding to provide feedback information to the organization, just like I've mentioned earlier, and Okorocha told us then that they are amebos. Exactly. So they gave feedback or reaction from the people or groups affected by the activity. The public needs information to be carried along in what the organization is doing, particularly as it concerns their interest. For instance, a major market leader must create good image and reputation, which public relation information provides. Now, what of planned? The next thing you will learn about the characters of public relation, or what we say important keywords in public relation, is that public relation is planned. It involves planning. It doesn't happen randomly. It involves planning. So it is planned. Public relations activities are organized in a systematic sequence, which is expected to culminate in solutions to identified problems. Sales is reducing these days. We don't really understand what is happening. Now, the public relations will step in. They will go and be doing amebo in the public. What's the day happen? What are people saying about this thing? Is there another product outside that is now selling their own cheaper and giving them the same quality? Or is there something they really hate about our product? Is there so public relations steps in. They gather all the amebos, then they fine tune it and then give feedback to the organization. You should note that effective public relations is planned in advance. It is a proactive, it is proactive and not reactive. Sugar, and some people are now saying bad things about Dangote sugar. So the person will now say, what are you saying? No, 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 no. For where? Dangote sugar is like this. It's like what you are saying. Can you prove it? Can you? Just that kind of person that is arguing. That one is not public relation, though. That is not public relation. So please, I have an icebreaker for our understanding. So let's try to attempt this. That's an icebreaker there for you guys. You fill in the blank space. I've removed two things from it. Now, the first thing, public relation is deliberate. The second thing, it is planned. The third one, it follows a process. There is a process involved in public relation. Now, public relations is a process. Effective public relations must be viewed as continuing process of series of organized actions, activities, changes, or functions expected to bring about a successful end result. On the other hand, public relations is not a one-time affair engaged only occasionally as a fire brigade method or remedial action. You should note that preventive public relations is a continuous process of discovering problems or opportunities, solving the problems when they are small instead of when they are fully blown. Public relation is the kind of control measure. Even the problem that has not yet erupted, that has not yet happened, they study it ahead of time and say, hey, people are already complaining about your this thing o, about the size of the package. It seems there is this particular company doing it bigger. They are already complaining and it's like very soon they will all move. The reason why they are still patronizing you guys is because of the kind of history that they've had with people. They kind of trust people. For people should just add a little bit to your own too before that company will take over. Now the thing has not happened yet, but they sense it that this thing is likely going to happen, so they help the company guide against it. So it is not something that will just happen once, or that a company will just go and look for public relations just when they have small challenge and then after the thing is solved they trash them. No, it's a continuous process. It's a continuous process. Now, effective public relations is not communicating promises alone. It is based on the practices, performances, good deeds and past record of the organization. This one is based is mostly talking about people that act as public relations for politicians. When they were making lies, they will be giving all those that tips about promises and the rest of them that they will not even fulfill. So no amount of good public relations will generate acceptance or patronage for an organization with bad image or that is not responsive to public interest. They are trying to let you know that no matter how good a public relation officer is or public relation is, if the company is already notorious The public relation cannot do anything o. If the company is the one that do promise and fail, that people already know them, then the organization, no matter how good the public relation is, it will not be able to do much. So according to Chester Burger in 1998, the best public relations public relations campaign in the world can't build trust. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. The best public relations campaign in the world can't build trust. The fact that somebody came to the public and is saying good thing about you and is trying to make us accept you, that alone cannot make we the public trust an organization. The company will need to build trust in us over time. So while reality is destroying it, we've not even read the end of it. The end of it is that the reality, what you, the company, you are doing opposite of what the public relation is creating. Then people will believe the reality more than what the public relation is saying. So the best public relations campaign in the world can't build trust while reality is destroying it. You guys should know this statement. Just know it for knowing sake sef, apart from trying to read for exam. Let us digest this statement, know it. It's something that is even good for your life too. And know the author of the statement. Chester Burger. Chester Burger. The best public relations campaign in the world can't build trust while reality is destroying it. I thought I've off this ad. What is going on here? It is off already now. Why is it say, oh my goodness, this is so annoying. I'm sorry about that. I actually thought it's off. It should be off now. Why is it coming up again? It's somehow confusing though. Okay, sorry. The place I went to off it, it was something else I off. Sorry, it will go off now. Yes, I've removed it completely. Sorry about that, Bolu Adetunji. Those are members. You deserve a clean class. So, like I'm saying, according to Chester Burger, he was one that says that the best public relations campaign in the world cannot build trust while reality is destroying it. If you don't know anything, so if you not gain anything in this class tonight, please gain this one. Go on with it, chew it, cram it, know the person that said it, that the best public relation campaign in the world cannot build trust while reality is destroying it. Okay, sorry, I have an icebreaker. So that is an icebreaker, guys. Let's contribute to it. The best public relations campaign in the world can't build trust while reality is destroying it. In other words, reality limits what public relations can accomplish. The meaning of that statement is that reality, that means what the company is really doing, will limit the capacity of the public relations, what the public relations can achieve. What we are doing is we are talking about process, that public relation is a process, and under it we have looked at that. Before process, we've also talked about it is planned and it is deliberate. Public relation is deliberate, it is planned, it is process. May I see this in OBJ and say which of the following is not part of the keywords in public relation or characters of public relation? You already know. So they may ask you deliberate, planned, process, and probably add one that is not fitting. So the last one and the last thing we'll do tonight in the class is mutual interest. Let's just consider these things as characters, although the material say keywords that you find in the definition of public relation, but I want to see them as characters of public relations. The first one we talked about is that public relation is deliberate. The second one is that it is planned. The third one is that it is a process. And the last one we'll talk about is that it involves mutual interest. Public relations involves mutual interest. And what does that mean? Public relations should be mutually beneficial to the organization as well as the publics. So while a public relation officer is doing his work, is like an amebo, like Okorocha put it. And this amebo want to please two people. He want to please the people he is ameboing on and the people he is ameboing for. Sorry for using that word, if there is any word like that. Because he's doing it for one person and he's doing it on one person. So both the person he is doing it on and the person he is doing it for, he want to please the two of them, mutual interest. So the primary reason for establishing any public relations activity should be to serve the public interest and not benefit the organization. The primary interest, well, I know that the organizations would have turned it aside, especially in Nigeria, because now they want to do it to serve their own interest, not to concern them if the public interest is actually met. Well, if you're actually doing that, you are not doing public relations. That's why the man Chester Burger said, if reality is saying otherwise, then public relation can't build trust. Actually, it was meant to bring the interest of people to you, for them to trust you, to accept your product, accept you. But if what you are doing is actually against what the public relation is saying, then there will be a conflict. Now, good public relations aligns the interest of the organization with the desires and interests of the public. Having done this, we have talked about other definitions of public relations today, starting with the Mexican statement. And then we have also talked about the keywords that exist in almost all the definitions that we've studied. And those keywords are deliberate, planned, process, and mutual interest, which means public relation is deliberate, it is planned, it is a process, and it contains or involves mutual interest of the organization and the public. I have an assignment, mm, and the assignment is this self-assessment. So you are going to submit it to Mr. Case. Is Mr. Case still in class? He was the one that handled the first assignment today. So I'm giving him the second one, because the rest of you, the assignment I gave you is only Mr. Olamide, that is Omoyasuno. He was the one that have submitted an assignment to me yet. The rest of you, nothing. I've not received anything from you guys, and that is not good. I don't know if it's the people that have not submitted to you, or you are the one that is here to give you my assignment. So, Omoyasuno, keep it up. The assignment you submitted is making sense. I've gone through it and I noticed those that use AI and the rest of them. I've seen what people are still lacking in and their strength. That is the work of the assignment. Don't think I'm not going to read it. I'm reading everything you are submitting. So, and I will do my analysis on it and see how we can help each other better. So, Mr. Case, this is the second assignment you're handling today. Make sure all of them submit it, especially those of you in mass comm, because this course is basically for the mass communication student. So, having done this, I think we have done justice to the definitions of public relations. In our next class, I hope I don't forget again that we have done something in this course in our next class, so that we'll be able to start from components of public relations in the next class as we move on in this wonderful and sweet class. As a form of reminder and as a form of summary, I would like to remind us again that Chester Burger in 1998 says the best public relations campaign in the world can't build trust, while reality is destroying it. Go home with that, chew it, eschew it, cram it, put it in your head, and good luck. Do have a wonderful night rest, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you tomorrow.